So we're gonna begin standing, but go ahead and come to mountain pose. So bring your feet hip width distance apart. Yeah, and just align. So take a moment to make sure that your feet are just below your hips and that your feet are grounded with all 10 toes pressing down into the ground, and that you can feel both of your feet rooting and bringing stability up into your hips. And then bring your pelvis so that it's scooping water, so you're tucking under just a little bit with your glutes. And then bring your attention to your shoulders because they're probably rounded over a little. So bring them up towards your ears and roll them back. And then open your hands to your sides so that they're just opening palms forward to the center of the circle. And then in this position, go ahead and close down your eyes. And I have story time for you for just a moment as you connect with your breath, in through the nose, out through the nose, and begin filling that breath, sending it all the way through your body. Today was an interesting day for me because I found out that I'm gonna get paid for the work that I did last year, which is not something that I ever expected. So last year, for the Summer Institute, I had already committed to teaching biochem, so they weren't able to pay me for the work that I did. And at some point when I received a budget from the past couple of years for LAMP, I saw that my predecessor had been paid $17,000 for the summer, and I had been able to get paid $3,000. And so I brought up I don't do it for the money, but there's an equity issue here. So interestingly, I never expected to get paid. So this is why I'm sort of up right now and kind of feeling like, whoa, I didn't expect that. So in this upwards position, that I will invite you to join me in that feeling of equity and pay equity and what it means, and be up here for a moment. And just breathe in through the nose, filling your chest rise. Maybe coming out through the mouth. And in fact, let's do that, a cleansing breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. And one more time, in through the nose, out through the mouth. And then raise your hands up overhead. You can open your eye, gaze at your fingertips, and then flow low. Half lift, stretching through your spine to the center of the circle, and then forward fold. Halfway lift one last time. And then as you fold, come into Chaturanga, Dandasana, and just a high to low push-up, and shaving your elbows and finding your way to our first cobra, our baby cobra of the night. Oh, I like it. And pressing back onto your knees first, and then finding your way into the first downward facing dog. Pausing here for just a moment to feel the foundations of both of your hands and both of your feet, sending their root network down into the earth and establishing mycorrhizal associations with everyone else's microbiota of their roots, and sharing that feeling of grounding. And on your next in-breath, see if you can open your hips just a little more. Bring your belly button up towards your spine just a little bit more. And just feel length throughout your core. And on your next out breath, take your gaze back between your hands and either step or hop up to the front of your mat, finding your way back to a forward fold, halfway lift, elongated spine, folding, and then all the way up, flowering up to mountain pose, letting your gaze follow your hands. And then with your out breath, let your hands travel all the way through your heart, forward folding again. Out breath, half lift, And we'll move one more time through chaturanga or meet us in down dog if you're feeling that. If not, we get to do another cobra. It might be a baby one this time, or maybe a full expression. Press up onto your knees and back to down dog. Take one full breath here, and then we're gonna gaze right up between the hands and move all the way back up. Forward fold. Heel toe your feet together so that your toes, your big toes are just touching and you have about 2 fist width distance between your heels. And then swing your arms, and you can just get them swinging a little bit. And we're gonna eventually swing all the way up overhead and sit down into chair pose. So, psych, somebody took your chair away, but you're not gonna let them get your goat. You're gonna be like, I'm just gonna sit here comfortably anyway. Now bring your gaze up between your fingers and see if you can sit just a little more, just a little deeper. Beautiful. And we're gonna stay here for a breath, sharing this moment, rooting through the feet, and then forward fold, half lift, and forward fold, and then all the way back up, mountain pose, hands up overhead. Now as you bring your hands to your heart, sit back down into chair pose. Sitting all the way back down, cross the left elbow over the right knee, gaze out over your right fingertips, as if you just had, chilled with a cup of tea here. Breathe. And think, wow, how has this become a place of relaxation? Breathe in, come center, hands to the heart. Forward fold. Interlace up the elbows. Shake your head no, but ultimately yes. Say yes, always just say yes. Halfway lift. Fold forward. Mountain pose all the way up, hands overhead. And then bringing your hands through your heart, sitting all the way back down. Oh my, so comfortable on this chair. Might as well just cross the right elbow onto the left knee. Gaze out over the fingertips. And be like, I could stay here for hours or days or at least minutes. And a deep in-breath. Come back center. Fold forward. Half lift. Chaturanga Dandasana. High to low push-up. And or meet us in down dog. Don't even go here if you don't want. How much cobra do you have left? How much hiss in your cobra? Push back on your knees and push back down dog. We've got a lot. Sam still has hiss in that cobra. Oh yes. Take a moment here in down dog to allow your knees to come together just slightly and bend them. And so you're kind of changing the place where you stretch here. Just kind of moving almost into a deep, low, almost puppy. Pressing your knees down. And then let them back up. And walk out your dog. Send the right leg long. And step forward, low lunge. From your low lunge, get comfortable, don't fake it. And then open up crescent lunge. Holding the world in your fingers. Gaze up. And open up, warrior two. Oh yes. Gaze out over your fingertips and reverse your warrior. Gaze into your elbow. And extended side angle. Full breath here. Warrior two. Cartwheel back down. Plant your hands. Frame your foot and silently, slowly, sleekly send the right foot back.
Sleekly. I don't know if I've ever done anything sleekly in my entire life.
So
That's a Christian character.
And three-legged dog and down dog. Walk it out, send the left leg long. And coming up to a low lunge. Don't fake the low lunge. Open the heart. And then move straight from here into crescent lunge. Seeing the earth spin on its axes in your hands. Picture that. Beautiful. Good. Now bring your hands to your heart. Plant the right foot and come to warrior two. Gaze out over your fingertips. Everything else is a blur. Reverse your warrior. Gorgeous. Our warriors are getting so much more warriorly. Extended side angle. Make sure that front knee is nice and bent. Deep down low into the lunge. Breathe here. And back to warrior two. And cartwheel your hands down. Frame the foot. And sleekly flex that back foot, that left foot back. The back foot left foot back. Walk it out. And come to stillness in your dog for just a moment. Appreciate the warmth in your legs. Hopefully now the abs aren't the only thing hurting. Hopefully the legs are hurting too. And the shoulders. And step or jump to the top of the mat. Heel toe your feet so your big toes are touching. Little space between the heels. And swing your arms. Whoo. And back to seated on that chair. The chair at the Mad Hatter's tea table, where you're having tea, with no chairs. Chairs are not necessary. Cross the left elbow over the right, gaze out over your fingertips. Oh, yes. Come back center. Breathe here and cross right over left. Breathe here. And center. And forward fold. Halfway lift, extend through the spine. Fold. And now all the way up, mountain pose. Hold your hands up over your head. Heel toe your feet so that they're hip width distance apart. Interlace your fingers and roll backwards into a back bend. Maybe over a giant beach ball on the sand. Maybe just over a giant mound of sand. And breathe in, go deeper. And come center. Bring your hands to your heart on your out breath. And gaze over your fingertips. Take just a moment to feel the warmth in your heart. And see how that impacts your hands. How different does it feel compared to the rest of your hands, the warmth in your breast? Bone, that is, not your breast. Take an out breath, hands back overhead, flow low. Half lift, and sit back down into that chair pose with your hands at your heart. Lovely. I can see Sierra too. You look lovely as well. Ooh, she's got this going on.
Nice.
I don't think I can do it. It's a good pose for it. And forward fold. And we'll move one last time through Chaturanga Dandasana. High to low push-up. You have one last cobra for me. Oh. And press back. When you're ready, into down dog.
The dragon cobra.
The dragon cobra.
That's a good concept.
Send the right leg long, leave it there, and open up through the hips, so let the foot drop over. And then send it back, pointing straight back to the wall. And ready for coming up into pigeon pose, so taking that leg parallel to the front of the mat. Oh, yes, hip stirs. Hips to hips. Over style. Take your breath into your hips. And if you'd like to come down to sleeping, go there now. If you'd prefer to reach back and get a quad stretch, feel free to head that direction. I think Sierra must be sleeping because I can't see her anymore.
Nice.
It's like completely not in the frame. Her little head pops up.
Thought I heard someone snoring. That's why I said
No,
that's
that's
just
Sierra,
my-
I think.
Crazy.
We'll release that back leg if you've captured that up. And if you're sleeping, come on up. Do the best you can to, oh yeah, there she is. Put your hands in a stable position next to your leg. So what I want to do is lift the leg, but without sending it back. So lift up and let it just walk over to a runner's lunge. Yeah. And then tuck that right hand inside of the right leg. And once you found your way to runner's lunge, you can either stay right here with the heart open or come onto the razor edge, that right foot, and lower yourself down onto your elbows. So many good breaths. Not just cobra breaths, but dragon breath. And gradually come up if you've gone down onto your elbow. And walk that left foot back in. Shift your hips backwards so we can come into the hamstring stretch, round through the back arch. Kind of finding a cat type pose with a hamstring stretch. I'm sure I definitely see my cat doing this when she's grooming herself. Shift forward, back into that lunge. Plant the hands, come up onto the left toes, and silently send that right leg back to three-legged dog. And release that right leg to meet the left. We'll take the left leg up. Remember to leave it here and open the hips so that it falls over. And then return it, reaching back. Send it forward for pigeon pose on this side. Finding that nice parallel position with the front of the mat. Getting comfortable here. And then finding your way to the variation you took on the other side. Where would that be? Take your time. And then release that leg if you have captured it up, bend or come up from your sleep. And we'll plant the hands, trying to push up enough to allow the foot to heel toe over to the left. And find your favorite, most luscious, juicy delicatessen of a runner's lunge. There are certainly some luscious runner bodies out there. Maybe coming to the razor edge and coming down on your elbows, or staying where you are, or being halfway in between, or I don't know. If you're down on your elbows, come on up. And heel toe that foot in. Shift backwards, hamstring stretch with the cat arch. And shift forward. Plant your hands, come up on the right toes, and go ahead and shoot that left foot back. Three-legged dog and down dog. Heel toe your feet so that they're just maybe a titch closer, and then bring your knees wide to come into child's pose. And then press your hips back. Elongate through your spine and bring your forehead all the way down to the earth. And take again a moment to picture your hands and feet and knees, forehead rooting in the earth, sending through a network of roots. Picture the mycorrhizal relationships that your roots are establishing, a whole microbiome. I realize that it's a lot easier to use the they pronoun if you just realize that people are entire planets. With all of our microbiota. Slowly, gradually pull your hands up as if you're bringing them through the sand, maybe at the black sand beach in Hawaii, and bring them up, and then sit back onto your feet and bring your feet to that painful cocked position because they have not been stretched and nurtured for a while. So I know it's painful. So take your energy away from your feet for a moment by bringing your shoulders up to your ears and roll them back and open your heart. And either leave your hands placed on your quads or interlace them behind you, or come to a reverse prayer. Send your breath to your feet. And release your hands, and then finally release your feet. Let's nurture the arches, so set the right foot in the left and sit back down onto the heel. Just stay here with your heart open Or take eagle arms with left under right. Go ahead and release and open your arms, and then release your foot. We'll switch sides. I promise you'll be thankful for this later. Probably not right now. And right under left if you're taking eagle arms. One more breath. And come open with your arms and release your foot. I was waiting for it.
So many animals.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little time.
I love it. We'll come to a stable table and move through a cat breath arch. How that belly drop. And come to a steady, stable table. And send the right arm up to the ceiling. And then interlace under your left arm, sending your left hand out in front of you. Stretching the shoulder. Possibly on both sides. And as you take a breath here, I wonder as you picture your root network and it's the way it interlaces with others and the way that it establishes relationships. Wonder what music, since I forgot my music tonight, what music do you hear? Or what seems to go with that for you? Go ahead and plant the left hand and bring the right back up to the ceiling. And release. Switching side, left to the ceiling, and interlace. Take another breath. Hard to want to move and then plant the right hand and come back up, left to the sky, and release. Lovely. Go all the way back onto your feet and roll all the way back onto your back. Bring your knees into your chest. Roll yourself out. Lying flat on the ground. Send the left leg long. Bring the right knee into your armpit. And then send the right leg tall to the sky, interlacing behind your calf. Roll clockwise through your ankle. 3 rolls. And then roll counterclockwise. 3 rolls. And then take your hands and walk them all the way down interlacing them really near your hip. And then press with your leg, bringing the stretch into your arms, as if you're pulling taffy. Yeah. And then release your arms, walk them back up, and take the leg to that 30-degree angle to stretch the IT bit. Come back center. Squeeze that knee in. And release. Send that leg low. And we'll go to the other leg. So bring that one in. Put it your armpit and then send it long to walk on the ceiling. Roll 3 times clockwise. And 3 times counterclockwise. And then walk your arms down to your hips, right as close to your hips as you can, and then press with your leg, and stretch in the arms, and tapping. And then release your arms, walk them back up, find the 30-degree angle for the IT stretch on this side. Breathe into the IT. And move back center. Squeeze the left knee into your armpit. Maybe still wondering what your own personal soundtrack is. And release that left leg, let it go long. Here, you can choose to take any last pose you would like. If there's just something we didn't get to or you felt for it, go ahead and head there now. If not, you can come to your final resting posture or lace up the wall or whatever you feel for. Take your time though if you've got a pose you wanted to do.
Love you all. See you later.
Good night. If you're finishing up a last pose, then find your way slowly to Shavasana. Just wherever you want to end tonight. Take a moment to fully establish that root network here. And first reach down with every part of your body now, forming the intercalated, highly urbanized mycorrhizal root network. There have been fungal mycorrhizae that have expanded for 40 miles or more. And if you think of that, we can all still be connected over hundreds of miles. And then perhaps take your vision all the way up above ground and into the trunk of your tree and grow. Think of what can come from a single seed. What can blossom and unfurl, and what light can do to fuel energy needs. And then if there's one branch that's weighted down by a leaf that isn't serving the tree, and let that leaf go. If your mind has wandered somewhere else, bring it back. And just check in with every part of your body and check in with your breath. And send it all the way to the tips of your toes and fingers. Take your time, stay here, finish here, or slowly move to one side or the other. I feel we've lost most everyone, but here we are. So thank you to those of you who are still here. No,